I hear the echo of the door clicking shut long before I let myself breathe, as if the air itself is trying to warn me that I've made a mistake I can't undo. The night smells like rain on concrete, sharp and cold, and every sound in this apartment feels too loud without Elias in it. I told him I wanted a break, soft voice, steady eyes, pretending I wasn't terrified, and he just nodded like he'd been waiting for me to say it. No fight, no questions, no trembling breath that meant he still wanted us, just silence, and a look that sliced right through me. Rin asked me what I expected, but even I don't know why I thought he'd come back once he cooled off. Maybe because he always did. Maybe because I believed my tears meant something to him once. The truth is, I don't know what moment broke us, and I'm scared to replay the memories in case I find out it was me. The last thing he said, "God, I can still hear it," was a whisper. Are you sure I wasn't? And now the empty hall feels like it's about to tell me why. The apartment feels different in the morning, like it's holding its breath for me. Rin moves quietly, their presence softer than usual, as if they're afraid of stepping on the wrong memory. I keep replaying the look on Elias's face when I said the words, how he didn't ask why, didn't try to bargain, didn't even reach for me. Maybe I wanted him to fight. Maybe the truth is uglier. I wanted proof he still cared. Something loud and undeniable. Instead, he slipped away like someone who'd already accepted our ending, long before I caught up. Rin asks whether I slept, and I lie because the truth feels too raw. The bed still smells like him. The silence feels like him. And the worst part is wondering if the break wasn't a break at all, but a door I accidentally closed for good. I don't tell Rin that I checked my phone 5 times before breakfast, or that every vibration made my chest jolt like lightning. Elias always sent a message after arguments, short, hesitant, wanting to fix things even when he didn't know how. But today the screen stays blank, and the ache in my stomach grows heavier. Rin watches me with that steady gaze that always sees too much, and I hate how exposed I feel under it. They asked if I regret what I said. The answer sticks in my throat. It's not regret exactly. It's fear. Fear that I wanted distance but not disappearance. Fear that I pushed too hard, too suddenly. And fear that Elias finally learned how to walk away from me for real. By noon, the quiet becomes unbearable. I wander through the apartment, touching everything Elias left behind. The sweater on the chair, the book half open on the nightstand, the mug with the chipped rim he refused to throw away. Rin trails behind me like a silent shadow, unsure whether to comfort me or let me unravel. I can feel their guilt. Like maybe they think this break is partly their fault. Maybe it is. Maybe we all let the spaces between us stretch too far. Were we so nest? He's saying to me, you have been Sylvan, see. But as I stand in the doorway of our bedroom, staring at the imprint of Elias's body still sunk into the mattress, I realize something I don't want to say out loud. I didn't ask for space. I asked for proof he wouldn't leave. The day ends the same way it began. Too still, too heavy. Rin suggests going out for fresh air. But the idea of stepping into the world without knowing where Elias is makes my chest tighten. I sit on the edge of the couch, staring at the front door as if he might walk through it by some miracle. Rin kneels in front of me, taking my hands gently, their voice barely a whisper, as they ask what I'm really afraid of. And for the first time all day, the truth slips out before I can stop it. I'm not afraid he left. I'm afraid he's finally done trying. Rin's expression cracks, and suddenly I see that this break didn't just fracture one relationship. It carved a fault line straight through all 3 of us. The second morning, without Elias, hits harder than the first. Like my body finally understands he isn't coming back right away. Rin tries to distract me with breakfast, but every sound, the scrape of a fork, the hum of the fridge, the soft shuffle of their feet, feels wrong without his quiet presence smoothing the edges. I keep glancing at the doorway as if habit alone might summon him. Rin's eyes follow mine, both of us pretending not to notice. They ask if I want to talk to him. But the thought of reaching out feels like stepping onto a cliff with no ground beneath. If he ignores me, it'll confirm everything I fear. If he answers, I don't know if I'm ready to hear the truth in his voice. The break was supposed to give us space to breathe. Instead, all it's doing is showing me how empty the room is without him in it. By afternoon, Rin disappears into their studio, the one place they can breathe when the world feels too loud. I linger outside the half-open door, listening to the rhythmic scratch of their pencil on paper. It's a sound that usually calms me, but today it feels like a reminder of how the three of us used to orbit each other. Close, messy, imperfect, but connected. I finally step inside and see Rin drawing not an idea, but a memory. Elias sitting on the balcony, head bowed, smoke curling around him like a question he never asked. The sight punches something deep in me. Rin freezes when they realize I'm watching, guilt flickering across their face like they've been caught betraying someone. I want to tell them it's okay, that missing him doesn't make them weak, but the words mix with my own longing, and I stand there silently, both of us aching for someone who isn't here to see it. The silence finally breaks when my phone buzzes, but it's not Elias. It's a reminder for a dinner reservation the three of us booked weeks ago, back when things still felt steady. I stare at the screen until Rin peeks over my shoulder, their breath catching when they see the name of the restaurant. We used to call it our reset spot, where we could talk about anything without feeling like we were falling apart. I don't know why I thought we'd still have that. Rin suggests canceling, but the thought of erasing something we planned together feels too much like giving up. Maybe showing up, even without him, is its own kind of confession, or punishment. I don't know. All I know is that my chest tightens at the thought of walking in and seeing only 2 chairs filled. And yet something in me whispers that I need to go anyway, just in case. We dress in silence, the ritual feeling foreign, without Elias teasing me about taking too long, or Rin fussing over which shoes match the mood. I slip into the jacket he once told me made me look dangerous in the softest way, and the memory pulls a tight ache across my ribs. Rin watches me, their expression unreadable, maybe wondering if this is a mistake or if I'm chasing ghosts. On the way to the restaurant, the city feels louder, streets buzzing with the kind of life that doesn't care how broken you are. Rin walks beside me, close but not touching, their presence both comforting and heartbreaking. I keep imagining Elias somewhere out there, moving through the same city, unaware that I'm walking toward a place still heavy with him. Or worse, aware, and choosing not to meet me. The restaurant glows with soft amber light when we arrive, the kind that's supposed to feel romantic, but only makes the emptiness sharper. The host recognizes us and glances behind me, expecting to see Elias. It's a tiny moment, barely a flicker, but it cracks something in me anyway. Rin places a steady hand on my back as we walk in, grounding me before I can crumble. When we sit, the third chair feels like a wound. Every clink of cutlery, every murmur of conversations around us feels like a reminder that there used to be 3 voices at this table, and now we're down to 2, pretending we're okay. Rin reaches across the table, fingers brushing mine, and whispers that it's not my fault. But the truth is, I don't know if that's true. And I don't know if Elias would agree. All I can do is stare at the empty chair and wonder whether he's staring at an empty one somewhere too. The night after the dinner sits heavy on my chest, and I wake before sunrise with the taste of Elias's absence still sharp in my mouth. Rin is curled on the couch, blanket tangled around them, face pale with the exhaustion of trying to be strong for both of us. I watch them breathe for a moment, that slow, steady rhythm they fall into when the world feels too big. I think about how many times Elias and I stood in this same dawn, whispering promises about holding each other closer, keeping the lines clear, never letting jealousy rot the roots. But somewhere along the way, the lines blurred. I blurred them. I kept wanting more. More reassurance, more closeness, more proof I wasn't losing him to every quiet fear I never admitted out loud. Standing in the glowing half-light, I finally whisper the words that feel like truth scraping out of me. I didn't want to break. I wanted him to chase me. And the shame of it stings worse than anything else. By midday, I can't stand the waiting anymore. The not knowing. The endless loop of imagining Elias packing a bag or drinking coffee alone somewhere without thinking of me once. Rin suggests we take a walk, and I agree because anything is better than drowning in the apartment's echo. The air outside is warm. Early summer settling in, and for a moment, the sun feels almost kind. We walk in silence, our steps soft on the pavement. Eventually, Rin breaks it, asking, I think Elias left because of them. Their voice cracks on the last word, and I swear it slices me open. I turn to face them, wanting to offer reassurance, but my own uncertainty makes the words wobble. I tell them we both know. Elias doesn't leave out of anger. He disappears when he's hurt. And the truth is, none of us knows how deep that hurt goes. Rin nods, eyes shining, and suddenly the distance between all three of us feels like a living thing. We end up at the small park where the three of us once spent lazy afternoons sprawled on the grass, sharing snacks and secrets and the kind of soft laughter that made strangers stare. Sitting on the bench now feels surreal, like stepping into a memory that no longer belongs to us. Rin traces circles on the wood, slats beside them, avoiding my eyes. I finally unlock my phone. The screen bright in the daylight, and hover over Elias's name. The last message he sent me is still there. 3 days old now. Come talk to me when you're ready. I wasn't ready then. I don't know if I am now. But the longer I stare at it, the more foolish it feels to let fear decide everything. Rin watches me, breath held, waiting to see if I'll take the step we've both been avoiding. My thumb presses the screen. But instead of calling, I open the chat. The empty typing bar feels like a cliff edge, and I'm terrified of the fall. I start typing, erasing, typing again. Pathetic half-sentences that don't say anything real. Rin watches quietly, their knee bouncing with tension. Finally, I manage 4 words. Can we talk soon? My stomach flips as I hit send, the message shooting off like a spark into the void. We sit there frozen, both pretending we're not waiting for the phone to light up. Minutes stretch into something suffocating. When it finally vibrates, my heart lurches so violently I drop the phone into Rin's lap. They look at me, eyes wide, as if asking for permission to read it. I nod, too afraid to move. Rin lifts the screen, their breath catching. Elias wrote only 1 sentence. Short, clipped, unmistakably careful. Meet me tonight. My pulse stutters. For the first time in days, fear and hope collide so hard I can barely breathe. The walk home feels unreal, every step weighted with the knowledge that tonight could change everything. Rin keeps glancing at me, searching for something. Fear, excitement, regret. But I'm not sure which emotion wins inside me. I can't stop imagining Elias's face when he sees me. Will he look tired? Hurt? Closed off? Or worse, indifferent? The idea of indifference makes my chest tighten until I have to stop at the crosswalk just to catch my breath. Rin touches my arm gently, grounding me in a way I didn't know I needed. They say they'll stay home tonight, that this conversation should be between the two of us first. Their voice trembles even though they try to hide it. I squeeze their hand in silent gratitude, wishing I could promise that everything will be okay. But the truth is, tonight might be the beginning of healing, or the final unraveling of all 3 of us. I spend the hours before meeting Elias pacing the apartment like a trapped heartbeat, every mirror catching a version of me I barely recognize. Hopeful, scared, guilty. Hungry for answers I'm not sure I'm ready to hear. Rin lingers in the doorway, arms folded tight, watching me with that quiet ache they never say out loud. I know they want to come with me, to stand in the background in case I fall apart. But they also know this moment belongs to a wound older than any of us want to admit. As I grab my keys, Rin steps forward and presses their forehead to mine, whispering, "Whatever happens, don't disappear too." The words hit harder than I expect, because I realize that while I've been drowning in fear of losing Elias, Rin has been terrified of losing me. When I finally step into the hallway, the air feels too thin, my pulse too loud. Tonight isn't just a conversation. It's a reckoning. I walk to the cafe. Elias chose, every step echoing through the evening like a countdown. The city hums around me, cars hissing by, conversations drifting from open patios, the faint scent of roasted coffee mixing with summer heat. When I reach the corner, I see him through the window before he sees me. Elias sits alone at a small table, fingers laced, shoulders stiff in that familiar way he gets when he's bracing himself. For a moment I freeze, the sight of him hitting me like a memory I wasn't ready to relive. He looks the same and completely different. Tired around the eyes, jaw locked, like he's holding on to something heavy. I almost turn back, but then he lifts his gaze, and our eyes meet through the glass. There's no anger there, no softness either. Just a quiet, aching question that steals the air from my lungs. I push the door open, hoping I'm not already too late. Sitting across from Elias feels like stepping back into a life still warm from the last time we touched it. He watches me carefully, the kind of careful that comes from hurt rather than caution. His voice is low when he asks how I've been, and the smallness of the question almost breaks me. I want to apologize, to explain, to pour everything out at once, but the words choke in my throat. Instead, I tell him the truth, that I panicked, that the break wasn't about wanting distance but being terrified of losing him without warning. Elias exhales slowly, fingertips tapping the ceramic mug. He says he didn't leave to punish me. He left because he didn't know how to stay when he felt like he wasn't enough. The honesty cracks the space open between us. For the first time in days, I see the softness in his face again, bruised but real. And suddenly, I'm not sure whether to reach for his hand or let him finish unraveling what's been weighing on him. The conversation deepens in ways I didn't expect. Elias admits he felt pushed out long before the break, like I reached for Rin more often when things got complicated, and he wasn't sure where he still belonged. His voice doesn't shake, but something inside it does. I try to explain that my connection with Rin didn't replace him. It just opened a different room inside my heart. But Elias says he felt like he was standing in the doorway of that room, unsure if he was allowed in. The weight of his words settles on my chest, heavy and devastating. I want to tell him he's wrong, that he's always been part of every room, every moment, every breath. But then he asks the question I've been avoiding. Do you still want us? All three of us. And suddenly every sound in the cafe blurs, every heartbeat loud in my ears, because wanting them both has never been the issue. It's believing I deserve them that terrifies me. When we finally step outside, the air feels cooler, like the night has been listening quietly. We walk side by side in silence until Elias stops beneath a flickering street lamp, the glow painting shadows across his tired features. He says he's willing to try again, but only if honesty stops being something we save for when we're already breaking. His words hit deep, because he's right. We built something beautiful, but we kept patching cracks instead of admitting when they first formed. I feel my throat tighten as I tell him I want us, all of us, but I can't do it alone. I need him to meet me halfway, not disappear when things get hard. Elias nods slowly. Eyes softening for the first time tonight. Then he says the thing that lodges itself inside my ribs. Tell Rin, I want to talk. Not tonight, but soon. Hope flares in me, fragile and trembling. Maybe this isn't the end. Maybe it's the first real beginning we've ever had. When I return home, Rin is sitting on the edge of the couch, hands clasped like they're holding something fragile and invisible. The moment they see my face, their breath stutters, and I can tell they're searching for clues in my expression. Hope, danger, heartbreak. I sit beside them, the warmth from the night still clinging to my skin, and for a minute we just breathe in sync. The silence thick with questions neither of us is ready to ask. Finally, I tell Rin that Elias wants to talk to them soon, that he isn't shutting the door, that he's hurting but willing. Rin exhales sharply, as if they'd been holding that breath since the moment he walked out. Their shoulders sag with relief and fear tangled together. They ask how he looked, and I admit he seemed tired, softer around the edges, carrying too much alone. Rin touches my knee gently, eyes glimmering. Are you okay? They whisper. The truth slips out before I can hide it. I don't know. Later that night, Rin pulls me into the kitchen, unable to sit still any longer. They pace in small circles, their voice trembling as they confess they've been afraid Elias resented them, that maybe the break was really a quiet message, that they were the weak link in our strange constellation. The words bleed out of them faster than they can catch, and I realize how deeply they've been carrying this loneliness. I step in close, taking their shaking hands, telling them that none of this was their fault, that Elias's pain wasn't a reflection of their worth or their place. Rin's eyes shine with something sharp, relief mixed with disbelief. They ask if Elias really wants to see them or if he's just being polite. I tell them he was the one who asked, his voice steady even when his heart wasn't. Rin sinks back against the counter, covering their mouth as if holding tears inside. The truth is messy, I whisper, but we're still choosing each other, all three of us. The next morning, the apartment feels lighter, almost deceptively so. Rin makes coffee, humming softly, a nervous habit they fall into when trying to anchor themselves. I sit at the table watching them move with a quiet tenderness I didn't fully notice before. They hand me a mug and ask cautiously what Elias said about us, about the future. I repeat his words carefully, afraid of twisting them into promises he didn't make. I tell Rin he wants honesty, transparency, no more burying things until they explode. Rin nods slowly, taking in every detail as if memorizing instructions for something delicate. Then they ask a question I didn't expect. Do you still want him? Fully, not out of guilt, not out of fear. The truth rushes forward before I can filter it. I want him because he's still home to me, even when the foundation shakes. Rin lets out a shaky breath and whispers that wanting both of them scares them, because love this big feels like it could swallow them whole. By afternoon, Rin retreats to their studio again, but this time I follow. The room smells like charcoal and lavender oil, comforting in a way that feels almost sacred. Rin sits on the floor, surrounded by half-finished sketches. Some of us, some of Elias, some abstract shapes that look like feelings too tangled to name. I kneel beside them, asking if they want company or space. They whisper, "Stay," barely audible. We sit together in the spreading quiet, and Rin eventually picks up a pencil, sketching slow lines with hands that still tremble. I watch the image take shape. All three of us, side by side, faces soft but uncertain, like a family trying to remember how to stand together. The sight knocks the breath out of me. Rin looks up, searching my expression as if bracing for rejection. Instead, I press my forehead to theirs and tell them we're not broken. We're just bruised. And bruises heal when they're not hidden in the dark. That evening, Rin asks if I'm scared about seeing Elias again, this time with them involved. I tell them yes, but it's not the fear of loss anymore. It's the fear of finally telling the truth with no safe escape route left. We sit together on the balcony, the city buzzing below, the sky turning deep violet around us. Rin leans their head on my shoulder, saying quietly that they want this, want him, want me, want us, even if they don't know how to do it perfectly. I wrap an arm around them, feeling the tension slowly melt. I tell them perfection isn't what kept us together. It was choosing each other again and again, even when we were shaking. Even when we were shaking. The night wind carries our breath into the dark, and for the first time in days, hope doesn't feel like a lie. I whisper that tomorrow I'll ask Elias when he wants to meet. Rin nods against me, and the world feels softer, like maybe we're finally stepping towards something worth rebuilding. I wake early, stomach twisted tight, because today is the day I finally reach out to Elias about the three of us sitting down together. Rin is already awake, sitting on the floor beside the couch, knees pulled up, staring into nothing like they're rehearsing the moment over and over. I sit beside them and they lean lightly against my shoulder, their breath slow but uneven. I tell them I'm texting Elias now, and Rin nods, fingers curling nervously into the hem of their shirt. When I open my phone, my hands shake, not from fear of him saying no, but from fear of what it means if he says yes. The message is simple. Elias, can we meet? All three of us? I hit send before doubt can swallow me. Rin squeezes my wrist, grounding me. A minute passes, then another. Then the phone buzzes. Elias replies, "Tell me when and where." Relief and terror crash over me at once, because the door is open again. But walking through it means we stop hiding from everything we broke. Rin wants to know every detail. How Elias sounded in his message, whether he seemed angry, whether he hesitated. I tell them the truth. He didn't sound like anything except someone willing to try. Maybe that's enough. We spend the afternoon talking through what tonight might look like, each of us confessing fears we've kept tucked behind our ribs. Rin admits they're scared Elias might blame them, that he might see them as an intruder in something that belonged to us first. I take their hand and remind them that love doesn't have ownership. It has invitations, and Elias once accepted them freely. As we sit side by side, I realize how much courage it takes for Rin to walk into a conversation where the ground beneath them has always felt unstable, and how much courage it takes for me to ask Elias to come back into a space where he has felt replaced. Tonight isn't just a meeting. It's a test of whether we still have a shape that can hold all three of us without collapsing. As evening approaches, the apartment slips into a hush that feels almost sacred. I keep checking the time, pacing from room to room, adjusting things that don't need adjusting. Rin stands in front of the mirror, smoothing their shirt, breathing carefully like every inhale is a rehearsal for the moment. Elias walks through the door. I catch my own reflection beside theirs. Eyes tired, lips tight, heart thudding loud enough I swear it echoes. When our gazes meet in the mirror, Rin whispers, "What if we don't know how to talk like a trio anymore?" I tell them we'll learn, because wanting to try is more than we had a few days ago. The doorbell rings then, sharp, sudden, slicing through our nerves. Rin's hand shoots out to grab mine. For a split second, we both freeze, suspended between fear and hope. I squeeze back, inhale deeply, and open the door to the man we've both missed in different ways. Elias stands in the doorway, shoulders slightly hunched, eyes flicking between me and Rin like he's trying to read the temperature of the room before stepping in. Rin whispers a soft hi, barely audible, and Elias returns it with a nod so small it almost disappears. The air feels charged, fragile, like one wrong word could shatter everything. When Elias finally steps inside, he doesn't sit right away. He lingers near the table, fingers trailing its edge, grounding himself. Then he says he's willing to hear everything. What we felt, what broke, what we want from here. His voice is steady but tired, and something in me unclenches. Rin sits first, hands folded tightly in their lap, and I sit beside them. Elias slowly joins us. For a moment, none of us speaks. Then Elias looks at Rin and says, "I never hated you. I just didn't know where I fit anymore." Rin's breath stutters, and I feel the first tiny seam of healing begin to form. What follows is messy, raw, and terrifyingly honest. Elias admits he pulled back long before the break, because watching Rin and me grow closer scared him. Not because he didn't want us to, but because he felt himself drifting to the margins. Rin admits they sensed it and didn't know how to bridge the silence without making it worse. I confess the ugliest truth of all, that I asked for the break hoping Elias would fight for me, not disappear. The confession lands hard, but Elias doesn't flinch. Instead, he rubs the bridge of his nose and says he's tired of all of us trying to protect each other by hiding the parts that hurt. We sit there, the three of us, bruised but still here. When Elias reaches out, first to me, then to Rin, something in the room shifts, not fixed, not healed, but open in a way it hasn't been in months. For the first time, the silence doesn't feel like the edge of an ending. It feels like the start of something we haven't learned how to name yet. The night grows quieter as the three of us sit together, the weight of everything said lingering like smoke in the air. No one moves at first. We just breathe in the unfamiliar softness that's settled between us. Elias leans back, rubbing his palms together like he's gathering courage for something still unspoken. Rin's eyes flick between us, searching for signs that this moment isn't temporary. My heart pounds, not with fear this time, but with something steadier. Recognition that we've all finally stopped running from the truth. Elias admits he's scared of repeating old patterns, of drifting to the edges again. Rin whispers they're scared of being seen as the wedge, the interruption, the mistake. I tell them both. I'm scared of wanting too much, of breaking what we try to rebuild. The room feels like a confession booth with no priest, just three people trying to learn how to hold each other without dropping the pieces. For the first time, it feels possible. We move to the balcony, drawn by the cool rush of night air as if the sky itself is inviting us to breathe deeper. The city hums below, a distant chorus that makes our small moment feel strangely infinite. Elias leans on the railing, face turned toward the lights, his profile softened by the glow. Rin stands beside him, hands tucked into their sleeves, like they're afraid of touching the moment too hard and shattering it. I join them, the three of us shoulder to shoulder for the first time in what feels like forever. None of us speaks. We don't need to. The silence is different now, rich, full like a shared heartbeat learning a new rhythm. I look at them both and realize our love was never broken. It was simply unspoken in all the wrong places. Tonight feels like the first breath after surfacing from deep water, lungs burning but alive, finally ready to claim the air again. When we go back inside, Elias clears his throat, the sound small but steady. He says he wants to try again. Not the way we did before, fumbling in the dark and hoping trust would build itself, but intentionally, with honesty even when it hurts. Rin listens with wide, trembling eyes like they can't believe they're hearing what they've been silently begging for. Elias turns to them directly and apologizes, not for leaving, but for not telling them how lost he felt. Rin nods, blinking hard, then admits they were afraid to reach out, afraid they didn't have the right to need him. I feel something warm expand inside my chest as I watch them speak to each other with a softness they'd forgotten how to use. For once, I'm not the bridge between them. They're choosing to meet in the middle themselves. The moment feels small and enormous at the same time, a quiet promise wrapped in a single breath. There's a point in the night where everything slows, like time itself wants to stretch, so we don't miss a second of this fragile piece. Elias reaches for Rin's hand first, a small gesture but one that sends a visible shiver through them. I feel a swell of emotion rise in my throat. Not jealousy, not fear, but a deep, aching relief. Rin takes his hand with a tiny breath, then reaches for mine, creating a quiet chain that feels like a promise anchored in 3 directions. Our fingers link, and I can feel all the unspoken apologies, the unsteady longing, the bruised tenderness traveling through that simple contact. We sit like that for a long time, letting our hands say what our voices can't. The world outside keeps moving, cars passing, wind shifting. But our little circle feels suspended, untouched. For the first time, it doesn't feel like we're choosing between each other. It feels like we're choosing together. Later, when the night is deep and the apartment glows with the soft remnants of everything we've rebuilt, Elias stands to lead. Not out of distance this time, but respect. Giving us space, giving himself space, letting the night settle before tomorrow begins. Rin walks him to the door, and I stand beside them, heart steady in a way it hasn't been in weeks. Elias pauses, turning to look at us with that quiet vulnerability he hides too well. He says he wants to come back tomorrow, not to fix everything at once, but to start fresh, start slow, start real. I nod, Rin nods, and something warm and bright sparks between the 3 of us. When the door closes gently behind him, Rin leans into me, not out of fear, but relief. I wrap an arm around them and whisper the truth I finally learned. Love isn't perfect, but it's brave. And tonight, we were brave together. The future is uncertain, but it's ours again.